Okay. Welcome to episode 2. I had to end the recording because my mother was shouting on me. And she shouted my name, and well, I don't know what to do for that. Essentially, the pre-Empire, it started expanding into Central Europe. Now, of course, look at it, it's military, it's in the middle of Europe. There's tons of little warlords and clans and family structures. So, of course, it's going to break into the civilization, right? So we've got Middle France here, like so Charlemagne era, right? Well, this is the Stone Age era. We've got the Stye civilization, and we've got the Skirn civilization. Essentially, the Skirns are modern day Germany. Now, if you look at the pre-Empire, you can see that it's going to attempting conquest into the L civilization because the Romans are. Essentially, this is supposed to be my representation of what could have been Rome. Moving over to Asia, and whoa, big. And you know what that means? Big country. Just like China, in the days, it's going to come into civil war. And no, I'm not talking about the Chinese civil war in 1900. I'm talking about the ancient dynasty, sorry. Essentially, the Coast civilization would be the first to feel the effects of this following the death of their emperor. Three civilizations to break off. We got the Till, the fifth civilization, and of course we've still got little Tusk civilization there. Lee is less affected into the civilization of me. East, not to be confused with the new me, it collapses into two little. We've got the O, not to be confused with the O, directly. And then you've got the key, not to be confused with hi. I don't know why I waved there because you can't see because I've not got a camera. Well, now if you look at the arm, they're starting to expand into what would be modern day Yemen. Now if you look over here, you can tell that the Zhou, they're starting to get a lot of influence into Eastern Europe. Look, I'm trying to keep this bit of the world vague because, well, people weren't going to be there for quite a while. Ancient collapses into the oil. Yep. And the key. Now, of course, South America, let's just leave that for later. If you look at the Skirn, they're going to attempt a sort of conquest into Rome. Well, not, I mean like Scandinavia, not Rome. Rome, one, it's not called Rome, it's called Greece. And two, essentially, the Kree and the Skirn, they both invade the sky. Of course, I can cut down their military. So, goodbye, bye, hello, great Skirn Empire. So essentially, the border were defined in the Treaty of, let's just call this Bar, not Burr, not like this world's version of Berlin. Now, if we look at the, what was it? Her empire, which broke off from this empire. And this empire, look at it, it started to Mesopotamia. Now, of course, today it's going to collapse. It's a big one, in fact. Got the S, which is supposed to be a called S game of Square. We've got the Co, which is one. Okay, we've got the Group here, and we've got the Cry here. I already do the Cry. Now we're just going to call this the name because that was the last bit of the original name which I had to change because, well, I just don't like them. It wouldn't be realistic for the name to be something like East Thames. Because one, these civilizations are nowhere near the Thames. Two, they're in the east, and they are in the east, not the east. If you look here, you see that the grey are at war. We're going to go into that, but look at the grey, that's starting to overpower both of these civilizations. The S pieces out, I pieces out. Now, of course, look at the three empires. Look at the Erai River civilization. Erai River civilization would eventually become just Erai because, well, that'd be quite a mouthful for me to say that all the time. Now, if we look at the Great West Empire, you can actually see quite a lot of anarchy. Right. My idea is that this region is not a defined country yet. So this region is going to be quite a lot of this anarchy. People, just an utter mess. The enemy invader, but then they revolt against and they gain quite a bit of land. The Mess Empire, which broke away from the V Empire, which broke away from the Tusk Empire, which is now doing a conquest of Japan with the fifth. Essentially there, we become the Moss Empire. The Moss Empire, which is like this world's version of the Mongolian Empire, essentially the Moss Empire, it's going to begin a quick advance to the state, and also looking at the borders between the myths. Now, but these are life. If we look over here, we can see the east, the west, the Cry, they're a very, very strategic position, which is why I want a major war to begin. Not really, that'd be bad. Essentially, Crimea is being called from the left empire, because, well, we don't like the modern empire, they don't like the government in the left empire. The left empire doesn't like the government in there, so peace would reign forevermore, and blah blah blah, sunshine, rainbows, blah blah blah, peace forevermore. Except, no, that will never happen. This is not a storybook. And of course, we can make the Hun civilization. Or, we could call it the Yes civilization. Like, yeah is yes. The Yes civilization. The idea is that This is going to be another free civilization. But no, it's not going to be CRI, it's going to be Cry. Like Crimea. Grew, Cry. This one, it's going to be the. No, wait, that's the yay. You can't change the yay. This is the Cry civilization. And finally, I like this one. We're 10 minutes into this recording. Now look, this empire and this empire are quite big. A brief war between the and the left would break out. The left would be quite defended because, well, look at the border. Look at that. So essentially, a messenger from the Cry would somehow go through this peninsula and tell the AI leader, hey, let's take this narrow strip of land, win our war against the left. What do you think here, miss? A clown? Hell yes, I do. So that's what he would do. He'd invade the left. But that's not how you make a military strong. Eventually, the AI would try a conquest into this region. They would not be successful. They would be successful in gaining a little bit of land that looks quite like that country of Albania and by Kosovo. I forgot its name. Essentially, in the treaty, the Arai civilization would gain a strategic bit of land which is very, very important. I mean, very, very, very important to the Arai people. Because, let's just say, a major battle occurred here about 500 years ago. Peace is agreed in the Less Empire, which broke off from the Dis Empire. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's too big, too big, too big. But I'm gonna cut this off from the rest of the world so nobody just discovers me that I call the new world. Until, well, I say they can. Go up to Greenland, but no more. Not Greenland, Iceland. Not the supermarket chain. Essentially, the Ain't civilization. Here, the once great empire. This region, that's just what they say. See how when I break the wall, right? The Gru Empire, look at it, it's sort of like a Belarus, but I always wanted to go to Belarus. Fortunately, I don't like the flag. Have you seen it? Red and green. What's it, Christmas? Moving on, essentially, Madagascar, this would break away because, well, Madagascar, man. So now the here civilization. The Lake civilization, this is what used to be on the video. The West civilization. The Har civilization. Har, a pirate. The Loy civilization. the quake civilization.